This weekend it's Adepticon, one of the biggest gaming conventions in the world, and often where we see some of the most exciting reveals for all things Warhammer. We sit down to discuss and predict what we think might be revealed for 40k. I am James Jordan, aka The Bard, and today I am joined by Katie Foe.
Hello.
Jinx.
Welcome to the show.
Welcome to the show, yes, welcome indeed. We're also joined by Carousel Beard, Mr. Joe Pointing.
I, Adepti, cannot believe that we're in reveal season again.
I love that for a very American convention that we went for the most British way of introducing.
I, Adepti, cannot believe it.
Can you try and do it with an American accent?
I cannot, Adepti cannot believe it.
Amazing! That was good. There's our socials. Yes, Adepticon is right around the corner. Albeit well, and timing-wise, this should be coming out quite literally on the eve of Adepticon.
It'd be Adepticon, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would be.
Yeah.
I'm gonna shut up now.
Yeah, fair enough.
What other accent do you want me to do?
Yes, we are literally, we're on the precipice of excitement because tomorrow, hopefully, we'll all know what's going on, what the future of 40k holds. Because often at Adepticon, they like to go big.
Has some big reveals.
It's a big,
We had 10th edition. We had Age of Sigmar, the new edition.
Yeah.
It's a big convention, and I
do
think
big
they
bits.
do like doing a big splash at Adepticon, which could come along with all kinds of announcements. So we're very, very excited to think what they could be, and we feel like almost like a little, I guess, Adepticon Eve episode. We're going to
We're
predict.
gathering around the fire.
Yeah.
Their presents are under the tree. We can't open them quite yet.
Stockings filled with little 40k logos. What do we think the reveals are going to be? Now we're going to focus on 40k to start with because that is obviously very close to our hearts. But I think we all potentially have some interesting predictions because it has been 3 years since a certain specialist game was relaunched.
Should we start with that?
Oh,
Right, let's set the scene.
bold.
Right now.
I'm setting it.
I was doing some research last night
Nice.
on various things. I went to youtube.com and I typed in Warhammer, and you tend to get videos that have millions of views on those. And one of them was the Heresy cinematic trailer.
Oh, that is good.
That was so good when that came out.
And I would like to suggest that we're going to get another one of those because everything else has got a new edition at this point. 40k Sigmar, Old World. What else?
We're in the 3-year cycle and it's been 3 years.
It has been 3 years.
3 years.
There was the little tiny one. What's that called?
Titanicus.
That's the one, Titanicus, which always confused me.
Titanicus.
Because for me, Titanicus means biggercus, but
Right.
that game is smallercus.
Yeah.
And it confuses me.
Smallercus.
Smallercus. But I feel like it would be odd if there wasn't at least something happening with Heresy. Now.
They've also brought Heresy Thursdays back,
I have brought Heresy.
Yep.
which seems like quite an exciting thing to build up into a new edition.
It does indeed.
So I've had some thoughts about this.
Yes.
And there's
Dangerous.
been there's
Dangerous.
been a lot of Heresy reveals. A lot of Heresy releases over the last few years. Tons. Loads of resin stuff made into plastic. Loads of new characters, new factions, everything. I think this was very much the addition of a wave of new Heresy miniatures. I think this one, and I do think there's going to be a new edition revealed at Adepticon. And I think it's going to be very much based around a update to the gameplay.
Okay.
I think.
Okay.
I hope it's not 40k'd. Because I do like the huge difference between how Heresy plays and how 40k plays, and I think it would be good for the Heresy fans,
For the Heresy health.
the Hera people, as
Yes.
they like to be known, as we all know, that the gameplay is fundamentally, the same.
Yes.
But like some big refreshing updates to it.
I agree because
Tweaks.
There's a
Tweaks to what's good,
Yeah.
and then
I don't want to see it play like 40k
No.
at all.
we don't want
No.
to change the system. They need to be kept separate.
Yes, because I think the exciting thing about something like Heresy is the fact it is different intrinsically to something like 40k, which is, in theory, more streamlined, Whereas the fun, like with something like Old World as well, much like Heresy, is a bit more specialist. It has rules upon rules upon rules that allow you to sort of create more of a narrative through line in just playing the game. There's lots of cool additional bits of rule for every single unit.
It's a tabletop game based on some thick lore.
Thick lore!
Chewy lore.
It's all about that narrative. Do you reckon they'll release some new narrative books for you alongside it?
I reckon so.
No.
What?
Well, they tend to save those for like
Yeah.
Black Friday, Black Library.
This is very
reveals,
true.
don't they? They might do.
No, it's in like the narrative campaign books.
Yeah, I think in the main rulebook, if I remember from last time, it was a hefty tome, and that did have some narrative scenarios like at the back portions.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to go out on a limb. I think it's almost. I really feel like there might be some Heresy stuff.
You think it's locked in?
I
triple locked.
The thing is, well, I have a head in my heart. I think my head is telling me it's almost guaranteed because it's been 3 years.
Yeah.
My heart tells me like I don't like this 3-year cycle because I think it means we often end up getting like constant redos of stuff, which not everybody necessarily feels it needs. As far as I'm aware, Heresy fans, no one's there being like, we desperately need a new edition. But hey, hopefully it'll just be cool new stuff.
Well, look.
Cool new stuff and things.
My prediction. In addition, we're not going to see a box. We're not going to see like a launch box. I think it's going to be very much like a reveal trailer.
Interesting.
A cinematic trailer. I think
it's going to coming soon.
It's going to set the scene.
I think they'll probably in that reveal trailer like hint at what the box will be.
Yeah.
Yes.
Is it going to be some kind of like a part of the history? Is it going to be set at a specific time in the Heresy? Because as far as I know, and please correct me if I'm wrong, and you lot Heresy fans, as far as I know, the setting of the last box wasn't like a big part of the story, was it?
No,
It
I don't
was
think
sort of
think that was the setting, but I think the narrative campaign books they released immediately after were relating to those.
Yeah.
I think because I think a lot of stuff has been about Calf and
factions.
things like that.
Yeah.
But I felt like last time was more like a relaunch of Heresy.
Yeah.
Because it very much felt like that box was like the not just edition starter set. It was like this is the Horus Heresy
Starter
box.
set.
I'd love it if
It's an amazing box.
right.
so
They've got
wanted
that's
it.
some that's a high bar they set for last time, so it better be a good
Well,
box.
I personally think that box is locked in forever. Because that's the ultimate starter box.
great.
For a Heresy, if you want to buy any Legion, it's effectively one whole Legion in a box.
That's a really good point. Yeah, because it was a relaunch
Yeah.
of Horus Heresy last time.
that's-
So maybe now going forward, the new editions are going to be here's more of a specialist box for these two factions.
That you could have here's a Siege of Terror box, here's a Drop Site Massacre box, here's a Eastbound 3 box, here's a Diamat box. Like you can have all these different like box sets that are all just about these cool incursions. Like here's Sons of Horus versus Dark Angels, here's Night Lords.
It could also be an opportunity to do another set based on 2 armor marks that have been updated.
Yes.
Like Mark 2 armor, for instance, I don't think has been redone. So it could be that. Here's like your Mark whatever faction, Mark whatever faction. So it's not like you have to play this as like Blood Angels and this one as Death Guard or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like you can be whatever you want. It's just new armor marks perhaps.
Because that was the genius thing about that box, is it was just sort of like, here you go, you can do what you want with these models.
Yeah. Fascinating.
Yeah, I can't quite remember, but you two might. Do you remember around what time the Horus Ascended model was announced?
That was a while after that.
Was that a while
like
after
maybe
that?
a year and a half.
That's
Yeah,
interesting.
it was a little while. That was not that long ago, from memory.
Yeah.
Because that came out closer to the end in the Death Book.
Right.
That was around that. I feel
Okay,
that
that's
release was
interesting.
more tied into like, since you're reading these books, like, and also the thing is that's all concluded now. So it's kind of put more eyeballs back onto the Heresy. So I do feel like I want them to have much gusto, and I love the idea of Heresy. And I'd like to dip my toes into Heresy,
me
but
too.
I hope it doesn't lose its soul and doesn't lose the fun part of it of like all the minutiae that can make it difficult to get into, but makes it so iconic and more about that storytelling.
With the whole the narrative and the flavour and the thick lore of Heresy, it kind of has to be a more complex game, so you can get into it more. You're sort of forced into it.
You have to be really...
Get into it!
Oh.
Immerse yourself.
What if it's Iron Warriors?
Not the Iron Warrior.
I mean, if it is Iron Warriors, are you going to start Heresy?
I will scream. I've been saying for ages, I've got Heresy tanks galore. I've got Heresy dreadnoughts.
You've pretty much got a Heresy.
I have a unit of Tyrant Siege Terminators.
What are you missing to actually be able to play Heresy?
Loads of
with that?
infantry.
Yeah, you need lots of Space Marines.
And more tanks,
And
really.
Perturabo.
I need rhinos.
And Perturabo.
Perturabo. I picked up the War Smith.
No,
Not the Iron Warriors one.
No, it is the Iron Warriors
it is the
one,
Iron
but there's
Warriors
two of them.
Oh, not the Warhammer
I've
World
got this
Special
one. The Warhammer World exclusive one is this one.
I'm going to just say, and this is controversial, but as a Space Marine fan, I think Heresy have got way better models than 40k.
They're really
they do.
cool. Well, yeah,
Space
because
Marine
for Space
ranges.
Marines, the range is actually very cool. And also, I completely understand that for you because you have a bit of an issue with new Marines.
There's so much flavour. So I picked up the War Smith. I picked up the Iron Hands. Is he a Praetor? I don't know. And also the Consul recently. They are very detailed and very unique. I love them.
They're getting like Astacrone and we're getting Invader ATVs. Anyway, enough about that. That was last week's episode.
So we're going to say Heresy is happening.
I think something's happening in Heresy Town.
If there is a box, just very quickly, what do we think the two factions in it would be?
I don't think that. Well, I mean, technically,
if there is.
Technically, it was Imperial Fist and Sons of Horus, wasn't it?
It was.
Do you think the Sons of Horus is going to be like Ultramarines to 40k, where Sons of Horus will always be in it?
Because they're very close to being blue.
They're a very nice colour.
It is a nice scheme.
They also
pretty.
released loads of colours to just paint them last time. Do you remember we have like Horus Green and like Lunar Wolves edge highlighting colours? They've got a whole colour range. I think they're the Ultramarines effectively for Heresy.
It would be cool.
Which is
if they're going to always be the bad guy.
Like the Goody Legion can swap out. Like it's kind of fun. Like, do you know what I mean? Normally it's like Ultramarines plus whatever the threat to the 40k universe is.
Yeah. This
This is like Sons of Horus because his name is on the box.
Yeah.
Just a theory. Dark Angels had a bunch of stuff. Legends didn't they? Like all the Raven Wing stuff.
It wasn't
it
maybe the
Legends?
Talon Master. The Black Knights are alive and
feel
good. I mean,
like
attack bikes and stuff.
It'd be cool if they did the Dark Angels, wouldn't it, James?
Also, I would say it would be very cool
be very
because I
cool if
have
they
been
did the
noticing,
Dark
I've always
Angels.
been very tempted to do a Dark Angels Heresy army, and that's probably got the most just resin stuff. Hasn't had a lot of redos. Like there's no new
They do like redoing stuff.
There's a lot of new
fantastic.
resin Dark Angels. Get yourself some of those Inner Circle Knights.
Oh, Causeway!
Yeah, cool, blimey.
Lion. Anyway, no, before I fall into an abyss. Yes, I think there's something happening in Heresy Town. I think there's definitely something happening in Heresy Town, and I think it's likely to involve the Sons of Horus in a box of some description.
Smells like Heresy.
It does smell like Heresy. Do you know what else it smells like?
Please.
40k reveals.
Today's video is brought to you thanks to the support from our on-demand members. It's due to their amazing support that we're able to produce shows just like this one. As well as supporting the channel, our members get access to at least 2 additional battle reports every week, as well as full codex reviews, painting tutorials, 10 multi-episode narrative campaigns, all of our competitive 40k league games, and so much more. And we add to our library of content every single week. You can join our on-demand community today by downloading our app or heading to the website. And right now we have an introductory offer for new customers, so there's never been a better time to join on demand. Thanks for watching. Let's get back to the show.
Now, this is an interesting one because there's been a lot of big reveals recently for 40k. A lot. Like we've had in the space of not that long, Krieg. We've had Eldari.
With all the aspect warriors and the
And
Phoenix
we've
Lords.
had Emperor's Children.
Yes.
So are we weirdly not going to get that much for 40k? Is it just going to be like, Lieutenant? And
Well-
then carry on with our lives? Or is it going to be Big Boy?
Well, I have a bit of a theory about what's kind of coming.
Okay.
So we had the Emperor's Children, and
Yep.
we had the special edition book with the collectible coin, the quarter of a collectible coin.
A quarter.
I'm going to do this all day.
What have we done?
And they've said that the other quarters.
Okay.
No, he's not
He's
going to do
not-
it.
he's not doing it.
The other quarters are going to be in the other specialist chaos books.
Interesting, okay.
So what if we start seeing more chaos
I like
being
it.
revealed? Because I feel like if they're going to do something special like that, they don't want people to forget about it.
So you think we're going to see lots of the chaos stuff
I
straight
think
away?
we're going to start seeing lots of chaos stuff.
I think that makes sense because also you get the idea if you've had the Emperor's Children, which is kind of the tip of the spear.
Yes.
And it would then
We've
make
also
sense
seen
to-
like a massive update in terms of the fact that you don't have things like Predators, Hellbrutes in
Very
the Emperor's
true.
Children. So I feel like those big updates need to kind of come through to the other things if
Yes.
they are going to, and also the coin.
You want your coin.
I want the
You
coin.
don't
I'm-
care about the models, you just want to know what's
I am a
happening with the coin.
magpie. I see something shiny and I need it.
Coin.
I have just referred to the roadmap.
Yes.
Oh,
The roadmap.
Yep.
So according to the roadmap, coming next is World Eaters, Death Guard, and Thousand Suns.
The
There we go.
coins.
The next three.
my coins.
3
Give me my coins.
Quarters. Quarters.
quarters of the
I like
coin.
how you change it every time.
Yeah, because I can't do a good accent. After that, following that, they've given some very, very poor secret teasers, one of which is Mystery Salamander.
Yes.
You then got Chaos Knight. You then got the Black Templars, because there's Black Templars axe.
And then you've also got...
They've also got Grey Knights
Oh yeah.
as well.
Look.
Then
Look!
there is Mystery Shadow
Wasn't there
Man.
a shadowy thing? But someone shared an image
Shadow Man?
of what the shadow was. Do you remember what it was?
Yeah, it was a Space Wolf.
Look.
So someone found a very, very specific, relatively niche bit of Space Wolf
I don't know
art.
how they managed that.
And,
it was
the
Fletcher.
silhouette is exactly the back of a
Interesting.
Space Wolf dueling with another Space
I
Wolf
can
in
hear
front
him
of Logan
wooing
Grinner.
from the distance.
Yeah.
Now, I would just like to point out, before we fall too
That's
far down the
all
rabbit
very
hole,
exciting.
But that does come with the caption saying the future.
What is the
also,
future?
let's face it, those roadmaps are very...
They're trash.
They're
changeable.
and they're like just...
Rough guidelines.
They're like stickers you find in a bathroom.
Yeah.
Like, they could mean anything. Like, they're constantly changing, get removed, stuck back up. There's no consistency to those.
I was thinking like a home bathroom for a second. I was like, why have you got
What
those stickers
stickers?
in your home bathroom? No, you mean like a pub bathroom.
Like a pub
I
bathroom.
understand.
Like, look, I think, I've said it before, I'm going to say it again, and I think it's because I want it to happen. Look, if all these chaos fellas are coming with all their demons and all their demon Primarchs,
A lush selection of miniatures.
how do you stop demons?
You're so happy.
How do we banish things like Angron? You call the Grey Knights. Come on now, look at the state of that range.
The little chaps.
Look at they're supposed to be
Let's
terrifying.
not talk about the baby
guardians of
carrier
the
again.
warp.
Yeah.
And you've got Crow, who's too big. He's too big.
Right.
That needs help.
Can I-
And when better time to do it than when all these scary demons are pouring out the warp?
Can I give you some bad news?
Yeah.
Give you some bad news.
Okay.
I've changed my prediction. Grey Knights aren't getting a range refresh. Do you know why?
Why?
Because they've previewed this Space Wolf silhouette. I don't think there is enough time to do 2 big range refreshes. Because let's face it,
My
the Space-
Grey Knight
just think-
Shin was
but-
present.
But think about it for the year, because you've had an entire Krieg refresh, you've had a massive Eldari refresh, you've
Yeah.
had an entire Emperor's Children.
Yeah.
There's only so many like ranges they could do in a year, Jim.
The Space Wolves will have to be. The Space Wolves will have to be a big range refresh. And there's a couple of reasons for that. One, the range is old. Old.
Is it even available?
Yeah,
to
you can get
purchase?
everything. It's
And,
just
like,
old
yeah, but
as
is it
hell.
available?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Some of the fine class stuff isn't. The other reason is Blood Angels and Dark Angels have had their boxes, so it would only make sense the Space Wolves also get their box. And I personally, in my professional opinion, don't believe there's enough time for them to also do a whole Grey Knights refresh.
They're not going to do a massive release for Black Templars because they had that last edition.
Yeah.
You make a good point because like the Grey Knight was in the Imperial Agents thing and he looked pretty old and derpy.
Yeah. Do you want to know another really sad thing?
No.
They're going to look even more stupid when they get a new model.
Yeah, aren't they?
Well,
Why do you think they're just going to get a new model?
if they get a new model,
What if it's like, what if it's like a vehicle or something like that? That would be
What?
fine.
So they all look like children in booster seats in their giant vehicle they all fit in? They're pathetic! They look
yeah.
awful!
If they add another character, it's going to look weird because the
I think they're
character,
gonna have to
the
add
characters join a unit which is
vehicle or
not
something.
the same scale. The only thing that I think might work is if they redo the Dread Knight because it's already much bigger than the rest of the range. That's the only thing that would make sense. However, if they go with the same design philosophy of having it in the carrier, that's going to look stupid as well.
Because it's going to be a massive man in a machine!
And that would
Imagine
also,
that with Primaris armor.
that would also give away the design and scale of the eventual.
I feel like
You'd
they're
have to do it
gonna.
all at one time.
I think they're gonna hold back any refreshes for the Grey Knights until they can do a big refresh.
They might not get anything, I'm afraid. They might just get a codex.
Well, they did say kind of at the beginning of 10th that everything would be getting something with
Well, Are they though? Because Chaos Demons, they've now got their digital codex.
Yeah, but it's not a physical codex release, is it?
But they said every faction's getting a model. I don't think they're getting a model.
But that's how they've worked their way around it, is by
clever.
we're not giving you a codex, so you're not getting a model.
Technically, it's digital, so they don't technically have a codex.
That's interesting.
Much like
it is just an
Death
index,
Watch.
actually.
Yeah, that is very interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you make a salient point that if Dark Angel's kind of got a range refresh, more or less, Blood Angel's kind of got a range refresh, more or less.
There's only so many range refreshes they could do.
It does make sense that Space Wolves would be next.
I think the big 40k reveal is going to be Space Wolves. But it does feel a bit early somehow. Because there's been lots of rumours about Space Wolves.
I
And they've
feel
all
like
been saying,
there's so much on the roadmap that we've not seen.
It's also so hot off the heels of Emperor's Children. It feels like another huge. But then maybe if they do a Blood Angels, it's a range refresh, but it's like only really 4 new.
But what if
kits.
they do it as this is everything that's coming out for Chaos? And what if they're probably going to be quite small releases for Chaos because you've had the Emperor's Children, and then maybe do the Chaos Knight, and then be like, but on the horizon are the Space Marines, and here's what's coming for them to defeat the chaotic incursion of Chaos.
Yes, to deal with these demons, we're going to send loads of maniac wolf boys instead of space wizards.
Because I feel like they did reveal some of the Eldari before Krieg. I think they did Krieg and Eldari in the same live stream, didn't they?
They announced Krieg
Yes.
very nonchalantly. They said, Krieg's getting an update, Krieg's getting an army box next
Oh yeah,
without
that
showing
was
any
weird.
miniatures. That was really weird. Stu Black, the
that was the weird
head of the design
reveal.
studio, he was like, Krieg's getting an army box. And we were like, oh,
Are you shovels?
Yeah, are there any models? No.
No,
Okay,
not to
we
show
will,
now.
we will wait.
But then I think the models were shown for the Eldari and the Krieg in the same live stream.
Interesting. Oh no, they were. Yeah, they,
so like they did show 2 big things happening.
Oh my.
Right.
And then I think it was in that same live stream they did show off the Death Guard model.
No, they didn't. So they logged it on Warhammer Community afterwards and didn't show it in the live stream. That was also really weird.
But wasn't that because it got leaked?
Was that a leaky peaky?
I don't know, but it literally came as soon as the live stream ended. It was on Warhammer.
I wonder if this is putting forward a new precedent of the big reveals we will do. If it's just a model, we'll just load it on Warhammer Community.
Yeah.
So if we think the Chaos ones are going to be small releases,
That's true.
as a result of the Emperor's
That's a
Children,
good point because I feel like when they
might focus on the next big thing.
I definitely feel like they got their hands burnt when they were like, there's going to be huge announcements for Necrons, and then it was like 3 unique models. And everyone was like, this isn't much of an announcement. This is just 3 dudes.
Well, traditionally, Adepticon has a really big 40k reveal, and I think based on what they put in the roadmap so far, unless they put something out that they haven't mentioned at all, I think the Space Wolf one would have the most impact because it could be that. I mean,
Also,
if it's an army
happening
box,
with the salamander?
yeah, that is weird. That is weird.
That's my wild card.
What?
Oh.
What?
So before we started filming, we were all like, we need to think of like, well, what do you think's coming for like 40k? And then also there's probably some wild cards.
Right.
I think we're getting. I think there's going to be I think there's going to be Codex Space Marine 2 Electric Boogaloo.
Oh.
I think there's
Really?
With the salamander?
Yeah, I think it's going to be like a
It's
whole.
going to be a whole update to the...
Well, we're not like I think it will be like a book with lots of redos
like
of.
a redo or a supplement?
Well, sort of like a supplement, but I think it's just going to be like Codex Angels of Death. And it's going to be like, here's more Space Marines. Like on top of the existing Space Marines.
More ways to run the
Because
Space
also
Marine.
it might like we saw with the Balanced Data Slate, they reprinted stuff from the Grotmus things with the updates. So it's almost like they could be like, here's a new book that is all the data cards and all the updates and all the changes that we've sort of are now on 18 different documents, all in one place. For the most popular faction in the game.
Good grief. That's bold. That's bold.
They could re-release the cards correctly.
Bold wild.
Good.
Oh.
It's a wild card!
I like that. That's cool. Yeah, that'd be an interesting one. I have a wild card that isn't 40k.
Oh.
I think they're going to. It's been a while since there's been a cool boxed game.
Interesting.
I think they might do a cool box game at Adepticon.
I like the sound of
and
this.
I've got 2 predictions.
2 predictions?
That what it could be.
I have a feeling in this same vein, but please continue.
Neither of them are likely to happen.
Okay.
The first one is Battlefleet Gothic.
Oh.
Because I think that would be a really interesting thing to add in, adjacent to a Heresy
Yes.
edition.
Which kind of like they did with Titanicus.
Yeah.
Smallocus.
Yes, but I think
Nice.
that there's something about that game which I think would be very appealing to a lot of people because it is very different.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's
And
not
people
like
love a box game.
yeah, it's not a smallification of Heresy. It's
in
a,
addition.
It's a different type of
And
game.
if you were so inclined, you could play your Heresy game and play Battlefield Gothic at the same time and have
Yeah.
a ship battle and a ground battle.
Yeah.
That's
Other
right up your
prediction.
alley.
Other prediction. More time. Because Warhammer Crest did very well, didn't it?
Yeah.
Curse City did incredibly well.
Yep.
Yeah.
So when they saw that massive sellout, and when was this? Like
COVID,
3 or
2020.
4 years ago now?
Yeah, it was a while.
During COVID.
Yeah. That sold out like that, and they had to bring in the pre-order promise.
What was
which
the
is now
first?
gone.
There was drama galore
Mate,
about Curse City.
everyone was livid.
It went mental.
Yeah. So they must have thought at that time.
Remember when they tried to pretend it never existed? That was
Yeah.
fun for about 2 weeks.
Oh boy. They must have thought, right, we need to replicate this again because that did very well.
But don't mess it up.
Yeah. What could we do that would be as fun as Curse City in a similar sort of vibe? More time, baby.
And
Because since then, there's been a lot of focus on grimness in games. We've had Elden Ring.
Yeah.
We've had other games. Trench Crusade. The one with the big pointy hat man with the
Silent Hill?
barbed wire, mask. I can't remember what it's called.
Blasphemous.
Blasphemous.
Nice.
Loads of really creepy, grim stuff.
Yeah.
That's more time.
That is more time.
Come on.
And also,
It's easier to also kind of market a box game as that rather than a whole game system.
Yeah.
So,
You've also got old
world's
people
back.
like me wearing
Old world's
more time
back.
t-shirts like, oh God, more time, yeah.
like the old world is back and that old Hammer stuff
Yeah.
is kind of
you
back in
go.
a big way.
I think that those would be my dream boxes. I think they could show off a really cool box game with some excellent miniatures. That's my wild card.
I like it.
Do you have a wild card?
I kind of do, but I feel like it's not as exciting as yours.
Oh, sorry.
Go for it.
Well, it's more on the merchandising side of things.
Oh, yeah.
Because we know Warhammer are expanding their merchandising
They are.
ludicrously.
Do you think there's more
I
sense
saw
of
it.
candles?
Dark Angel Smarts jersey the other day.
Oh, lovely.
This is very funny. And my favourite part of merchandising, not the plushies, surprisingly.
Oh.
Although I do have some rippers on the way. The suit of armour.
Right.
I've been talking about this for a while, I'm sorry. The suit of armour that I managed to try on at Warhammer World,
Yeah.
they're going to sell that. Like that's, you do realise they're selling that.
That's interesting.
Like that's
Who's
part,
selling it?
What, for like
so
LARPing kind of
Yeah,
purposes?
so this is, I can't
Interesting.
remember the name of the company, we'll do a pop-up, but they have been merchandised to be able to produce like old world armour.
Oh.
And
Oh,
old world
right, yes,
costuming.
yes,
This is
yes.
part of their
Yeah.
the Warhammer Armory, I think is what
Yeah.
they're calling it.
Is it in association with Weta? Like, because we've been doing all the big sculpts.
No,
I think so.
No.
they just
But
did
I think they're going to expand that out.
Interesting.
And I think we're going to see an expansion of that in the old world. And I think eventually, probably not announced at Adepticon, but eventually we're going to start seeing them produce Warhammer 40k
cosplay.
cosplay.
Oh, do you know what's very interesting?
That would be big when we get round to the Henry Cavill's
Well, I was going to say,
TVs.
because do you know what it'd be really good at? To start for 10 for figuring out how they're going to actually costume that
Yeah.
show.
Oh, let's not get into that right now.
No, but in a good way, because if they're doing this as like a...
But you also so they had two different types of costumes there that they were showing off. They had a fabric one which was the hat, feather, long big puffy sleeves,
Witch hunter.
man. I don't know, I'm not good at Old World. And then they had the armour. So you start with the fabric, so you can start with things like a guardsman and a sister of battle. So you've
Yeah,
got
cool.
that,
That's very
and then you go into power armour.
Wow.
I like that a lot.
I think they're
cool.
going to
That's
produce
very
as power armour.
Okay, well that's some good predictions then, isn't
It's
it?
good predictions.
Yeah, I think there'll probably be some other. I think other game systems will be in there. We'll see stuff for Sigmar and Old World, and hopefully more Necromunda.
Oh, Necromunda. Oh,
What
no.
about that Blood Angel chap, huh?
Oh.
Oh my
My
God!
favourite thing is reading that article. They so buried the lead, being like, "Oh, he could be from any chapter, but he loves drinking blood."
I love that because like they've been very much about like here's what's going on at the moment very accurately. There's not been much mystery in the lore for a while, but this friggin' bounty hunter that's a
Awareness.
blood angel.
I love it. Also, my favourite thing is the only thing that obviously gives it away is his knife has got the 9 and the blood drop on it.
Yeah, and also all the vials of blood in his fangs.
Yeah.
And the knackered power armor. Oh my God.
It's a gorgeous
More,
model.
more,
More Necromunda,
more.
please.
I also would like to see some Warcry because they always have good
Warcry's
They
releases.
always look great.
Warcry. It's probably my favourite bits of it. Just
Maybe a
everyone's
kill
Warcry.
team reveal?
Oh, probably.
Yeah, probably
oh,
season
maybe
two.
next kill team. Oh, maybe.
Oh, that was my other wild card.
Oh.
sorry.
Jane, you can only have one wild card.
Yes, I can. It's my job to sit through all of this again shortly. But I think my other wild card would be if some sort of kill team that's reminiscent of Space Hulk and more indoorsy.
All right.
Because I think that is such an iconic small batch thing.
Yeah.
I'd love it personally to be a relaunch of boarding action that's set in like Space Hulk, effectively.
I think
like
they've done boarding
Terminators.
action.
I think they have.
Yeah, compendiums are. I wonder.
Killed my boy.
I wonder if with Kill Team if they might do the next jump pack foes.
Strikes.
Well, I had to put.
Give me the Tyranid Strikes.
Well, there's lots. There's strikes. There's gargoyles.
Yeah.
There are the winged pirates. I always forget the name. The Scourge.
The winged pirates.
Raptors could do with an update. There's loads of jump units actually that are due for.
There's
an
no
update.
jump pack kill team for Space Marines yet, I don't think.
Are these assault intercessors not?
I don't think they're. You've got the Phobos one, you've got the regular one.
Oh,
Oh, the Votan Flyboys.
Votan
They're
Flyboys,
already
yeah.
there.
Storm Boy.
Storm Boys, bring back Zag
Zag
Struck.
Struck, baby!
Zag Struck.
Yeah, I think, but to reiterate then, or to conclude, I do think then, we think Heresy is going to shake some leaves. We
New
think
edition.
You think new edition? New edition.
New edition.
Yeah,
New edition?
I think it's time.
Okay, I'm going to be tentative and say a new box, but not necessarily a new edition, like just something new and shiny. Then 40k wise, what are you saying?
Well, we're going to see dates hopefully for Thousand Suns, World Eaters, and Death Guard.
You can get your coin.
And maybe, so I can get my coin, and maybe model reveals.
Well, yeah, because we've seen.
Because I
we've
think
seen-
they're going to be smaller.
We've seen Ace Air Conditioning Death Guard Man, which I love. Oh, that sword. So hopefully we'll see Thousand Suns and World Eaters reveals. I wonder if there might be, I don't know if there'll be an update for the roadmap, but I think certainly they might do like the thing after that.
Yeah.
And then the big boy. Big boy.
Space
Wolves.
Do you think it's Space Wolves?
Yeah.
Do you think it's Space Wolves?
Yeah.
I'm just going to say I think it's Grey Knights because I want it.
Oh, fair enough.
You can believe
Can
in
you
your heart,
imagine if
James.
they are actually like, yeah, full Grey Knights army update? Can you imagine?
Just go on a journey with me very quickly here. Think about what they did with the Deathwing Knight.
Oh, I don't deny it'd be good.
Imagine that.
It'd be incredible. I just don't know if they got
What they could do
time.
with the purifiers, and if they don't do it now, I want them to get rid of Ultramarines in the next box and do Grey Knights versus Demons. Exciting!
that would
No
be a
more
good box.
ATVs. It would be a good box, wouldn't it?
But it's going to be an exciting reveals.
It is, and we're going to have a lovely time. And hopefully, we'll see you soon after
Well,
this
yeah, in
episode.
the live stream. If put your predictions in the comments and see if they come true. You have to. Now you're here. You're contractually obliged to join us in the live stream as well.
You are. And if you're there at Adepticon, have a wonderful time.
You have a great
amazing time.
And everything that we predicted will come true.
Maybe.
Especially more time.
And my Grey Knights.
And my armour.
And KFT's armour.
And my axe.
Until next time, we've been Tabletop Tactics, and we'll see you guys very, very soon. Bye-bye.